What's up, guys? Brian.
And this is Santos. I'm just here to ask a certain question and see the mind of a Sky Striker player.
And then we're representing the Overlay Network, and we're bringing a Sky Striker deck profile. It's been making a lot of noise, so I figured why not show it off to you guys and show you guys that you guys don't necessarily have to follow the way that people are running it. You guys can make it your own because Sky Striker is very flexible. You can run certain floodgates, like there can only be one or some limit, because I understand that Nibiru and Impermanence are pretty pricey. So yeah. But just trying to show you guys different ways to make it. And yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get on into it. Because that's the great thing about you. You can make your deck the way you want it and still have it be pretty much the same in a sense. So we have 3 Ray because she's standard in all builds. And then her effect is you can tribute this card, special summon 1 Sky Striker monster from your extra deck. And yeah, and then if this card is in your graveyard and if it faces up Sky Striker Link monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon her from the graveyard and then use her quick effect to tribute her and link off into your Link monsters. And then it sucks when she gets called by and DD Crow, but we have to run 3 of her. So yeah, pretty much standard. She go bird like that. And then we have 2 Rose Alizé. Her first effect is that if she is, when a Sky Striker monster is normal or special summon, you can special summon her from your hand. And then since I run Utopia Double and the Double or Nothing package in here, I feel that this is very crucial and helpful in helping you get there. I am thinking about bumping up to 3, but at that point I'd rather just run Pot of Avarice because you don't necessarily want to see her. Sometimes you rather see some of the other spells because you want to get your Link.
Yeah, you like to special summon her more, right?
More than anything, yeah. And then her second effect is if an opponent's extra deck monster leaves, opponent's extra deck monster in the if an opponent's monster in the extra monster zone leaves the field while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon her, so you have a presence on board, and then you're able to go into some of your Link 1s, obviously. And then, or your Link 2, depending on what you may need, because Zeke is helpful here and there. Okay. So we run 2 of her. And then for the last monster, I run Pancratox because I feel like sometimes you do need to beat over certain monsters, and your Sky Striker monsters aren't big enough at that point, so he does help in getting there. And then more so than anything, he's just a really good godly one-of because his quick effect is great for destroying, getting rid of problematic. Yeah, for the removal, absolutely. So we run 1 of him because it's just needed.
Yeah, gets over things.
Gets over things, absolutely. And then we run 2 Afterburners. So if you control main monsters in the monster zone, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And then if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can destroy 1 spell trap card on the field. So this is great for just getting rid of problems, whether it be monsters or spells. So it's 2 in 1 right there. And then we run 2 Jamming Waves because in online play, I run a lot of 2-0s because in online play, it's the Wild West out there. You don't know what you're going to see. So I try to keep it as flexible as possible. And then Jamming Waves that's pretty much the same thing as Afterburner does if you have no monsters in the main monster zone. But this one lets you target 1 set spell, trap card on the field, destroy it. So just getting rid of back row. And once you have 3 or more spells, it lets you destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. So there is that. And then we like it. I like it personally. You can bump it up to 3 if you need it, depending on the matchup. But since a lot of stuff is online play right now, I like to keep it as flexible as possible. 2's Widow Anchor. I have seen people run Mind Controller, which is like their 3rd Widow Anchor, which is great.
Are you hoping for the 3rd Widow Anchor?
I'm not holding my breath, dude. I'm really not, dude.
They're not ban list, right?
I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see what Konami does with this. Maybe we'll see.
Engage at 1.
Engage at 1. I doubt it. Who knows, man? Who knows? I would hate to see it be abused, but it probably will. But we do run the 2 freaking Sky Striker Widow Anchors. And then you can run Enemy Controller, which is spicy. I don't know how people are using it, but the 3rd Mind Control is a great little option if you want to go for that. Like I'm saying, guys, Sky Striker is very flexible. You guys can make it however you want. And Santos can vouch for that too. Yep, very flexible. And then we run the 1 Hornet Drones because it's at 1. And then the 2 Shark Cannon because, like I said, I like the 2 ratio. And then on online play, you really don't know what you're going to run into. Sometimes this can be good. Sometimes this can be dead in hand, depending on the matchup.
Going first, you don't really...
Yeah, you really don't want to see this going first. But it's still good to see in certain situations. It's pretty much a DD Crow, but if you have 3 or more spells in the graveyard, it lets you special summon that card onto your side of the field. So it lets you go into some Link plays if need be. So it is good for that reason. So we run 2 Shark Cannon. Then we run 2 Area 0. Pretty much lets you dig deeper into the deck, and then when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, destroyed by a card effect and leaves the field, lets you add Sky Striker card from deck to hand. So it just searches out everything. We run 2 of that. And then we run the 1 multi-roll because it's a great card because once you activate it, your opponent cannot respond to the activation of spell cards for the rest of the turn after activation, even if it leaves the field. And then every time you activate a Sky Striker card, you can target every time you activate a Sky Striker card, you can set 1 from your graveyard up to the number you activate this turn. So let's say you activate 1 Widow Anchor or 1 Shark Cannon, and then you have a Widow Anchor in graveyard. Well, at the end phase, you can set it to the Widow Anchor
the Widow Anchor in your graveyard.
The Widow Anchor in your graveyard or the Hornet Drones, whatever it may
in
be,
the graveyard,
and then set it, and you just have it there for later in the game. But it gets banished when it leaves field, which sucks. But it helps for the Grand Grave, and there's a reason it's at 1 for reasons like that. Now we're gonna go into the 1 of that I run of Hercules Base. You're probably wondering why it's here, right?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, you probably see some builds run it, some builds don't. This lets you equip it to 1 monster you control. It can't attack directly, but it can make a second attack on monsters during each battle phase. So let's say, for instance, they asked the Utopia double. Okay? Utopia still comes out at 5k.
Yes, he does.
Okay, I can't attack directly, but I can attack your monsters twice. So this just helps you push for game. And then when the monster equipped with this card destroys a monster by battle, it lets you draw a card. So it just helps you get resources into hand. So I personally like it, and I would say it's a love-hate, 60-40. 60% it comes through, 40% it doesn't. But I like to say more often than not, it comes through just at the right time.
All right.
It's perfect.
And then you can search it if you need it.
Yes. Like I said. Amazing.
Yeah.
So then Sky Striker Scissor Cross. Okay, this card right here is like probably you think, what's this? Well, to put it in simpler terms, it's the monster reborn for Sky Strikers once you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard. So if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can special summon 1 Sky Striker, low 4 lower, from your graveyard onto the field. But if you don't, it lets you add Sky Striker monster. If you control no monster main monster, you can add 1 Sky Striker graveyard from your graveyard to your hand. So there's that. But pretty much the monster reborn in the deck, and since I do run Utopia double, it is necessary for me to see it. So I like it personally. It's a great card. Then Rhoda, because have to have it to search all these girls. And then double or nothing, because we do run Utopia double. It's pretty much the only brick of the deck, I'd say. And then set rotation, because we do run a certain field spell, as you see, and it's a godly 1 of. Metaverse, because I like it personally because it lets you play on your opponent turns and lets you activate certain field spells on your opponent turn. It can't be Ash too. That's the crazy part too. So there's that. You either add it to your hand or activate it. And more often than not, you're activating it. So we run that. And then for the field spell that nobody likes but I like is Mystic Mind.
Mystic Mind.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna get banned. What do you think, Santos?
I don't. Yeah, it could be a problem.
I don't think it'll get banned. Limited, I don't think so.
No, me neither.
No, the way the game's looking, it's probably not. But we run 3 Mystic Mind because that's the way I like to run it. I personally I love this card. It really just comes down to whether you have spell trap remover or not. That's all it comes down to in some cases, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You main deck that, or if you don't, pretty much.
GG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem, but
it is a problem.
But we run 3 of it because that's the way I like to run it. Like I said, guys, you guys can run it however you want. And then for the 1-ofs, we pulled a Lightning Storm in our Ignition Assault pack opening. If you haven't seen that video, guys, go ahead and check it out. And then we were lucky enough to pull it, so we run 1 Lightning Storm. Hopefully, we're gonna have hands on the second one. Then 1 Raigeki to deal with boards. The 1 Dark Hole to deal with boards. Obviously, Terraforming to search out your field spells. Upstart Goblin because I would like running a 39 card deck. Solomon Judgment because sometimes you do want to gate certain things, and this helps you against certain matchups, like rogue matchups, like Secret Village of the Spellcat, like Altergeist who likes running Secret Village. So you want to be able to stop that if you can. So, and then it's always good to have cards that say no, right? Right. And then sometimes you don't online. Sometimes those hand traps can be dead in hand. And speaking of hand traps, I run 2 Ash because it's just very versatile. You can obviously sub this in for Nibiru if you can afford it. If not, just run the Floodgates, like there can only be 1, or Summon Limit. But you should be able to access these thanks to Dual Devastator. And we run 2 of those, and then probably the best hand trap in the format, in my opinion, is Evenly. And we all know what it does, guys. Just great card. And that's it for the 40 card deck, guys. Now let's get into the extra deck. Any questions, Santos?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Right.
Looks nice.
Right, now let's get into the extra deck. Let's get into the only XCs of the deck, Utopia and Utopia Double. We all know what they do. Great Ash bait right here. And then, yeah, that's that.
To end the game, right?
Yeah, to end the game. Topological is Topological Bomber Dragon. Great card. Just lets you nuke the whole main monsters on. And when he destroys a monster by battle, after damage calculation, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original
How often
attack.
does he come out?
I mean, between you, not much.
Yeah.
But online play with the grand game, man, clutch. Just easy link 4 to get into, man.
Sure.
Easy link 4. And then Ningirsu, not Dingirsu,
Ningirsu.
Ningirsu. He comes up here and there. I think I've had him come up one time against you, but he lets you destroy one card on each side of the field and send it to the graveyard. Yeah, dude, this is pretty good. Let's just send it, man. Just gets rid of problems more than anything. And then 25 beater, link 3, comes up here and there. Can be helpful, but yeah, for Ningirsu because he does come up here and there. And then one Zeke because for me, her effect comes up here and there, but not too often. But when she is summoned, you can banish one card your opponent controls until their next end phase. And on top of that, you can you can destroy one Sky Striker card you control, and then she gains 1,000 attack. So she can get pretty big pretty quick and helps you push for game. I like Utopia a little bit more, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And then we run 3 Kagari because Kagari can get really big, really fast. And then she gains 100 attack for each spell in your graveyard. And then when she is link summoned, she lets you add 1 Sky Striker spell from your graveyard to your hand. So, I mean, yeah, great. Hopefully she doesn't go back to 1, but we'll see what happens, guys. And then 3 Hayate because I like the Hayate beatdown with Mystic Mind. When she's link summoned, not when she's link summoned. She can attack directly, and after damage calculation, she lets you send any Sky Striker card from your deck to your graveyard. So whatever you need to send, she lets you send. And then she's great with the Mind Lock, as you know, Steven.
Yeah, the Mind Lock.
I mean, Santos, yeah, that thing's insane, man. I mean, I like 3 of her because I like seeing her.
And then you'll go to her.
And then Mishizuku, yes, as Santos knows already. So she makes your opponent lose. She makes your opponent's monster lose 100 attack for each spell in your graveyard. And then during the end phase, she lets you add 1 Sky Striker card from your deck to your hand. So there's that. And then she's probably my favorite one. I love Shizuku, great. And then her Link's arrow does kind of suck, but it's not so prevalent as it used to be. So we run 3 of her. And then we run 1 Miss Kaina because she's kind of important. But if this card is Link Summon, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, and it cannot attack until the end of opponent's turn. So it helps you stall out a little bit if you need be. And then on top of that, every time you activate a Sky Striker spell or a spell, I think it's a Sky Striker spell. Yeah, you get every time a Sky Striker spell is activated, you get 100 life points. So it helps you in terms of like life point advantage and for a grand game like that. But we only really run 1 of her because more often than not, I mean, you're not really going to be bringing her out, But she is good to have on some occasions, I will say. Doesn't come up often with me and you, but online it does come up here and there.
Right.
I'd say so. And then any questions you want to ask Santos?
No, that seems pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so. And then that's pretty much it, guys. Once again, this is Brian.
And it's Santos.
With Neo Overlay Network, bringing you Sky Strikers, and we're out.